Hello once again, my friends, my fellow modelers, and my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and this video is going to be about Star Trek, and we're going to go back to the original series. Now, I've done several videos where I've actually shared my, toys that I had as a child regarding Star Trek with you guys in the past. And I'm delighted to share with you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at the REMCO electronic phaser. And what made this really fun is that it made the sound of the phaser, but it also had like a flashlight, and you can put little discs in that would project the image of the Enterprise onto the wall, and there was a spaceship, and there was one other thing I'm forgetting, but I finally got it. I got a good deal off eBay. There was one I was watching for a while, and I almost pulled the trigger, but it didn't have the instructions. And then I saw this one kind of pop up. It had the instructions, the packaging in the box and everything, so it even has the spare bulbs. So I went ahead and I pulled the trigger. So my friends, sit back and relax, and we're going to do a little bit of history regarding the real fun toys that we had during the 70s and the early 80s in regards to the best show ever, Star Trek. Okay, so this is going to be really fun. I've been saving it because I wanted to open up the box with you guys. Let's take a look at this wonderful packaging. Let me adjust the light so there's no glare. And look at that. The official Star Trek Transistorized electronic phaser gun. This is the realistic phaser sound, phaser light beam, project a target, 3 beams included, and it's got a secret compartment. Of course, you're gonna put the discs in there. You can see the way the phaser looks. It says Star Trek on the side, and this is from REMCO. You can see Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk and the beautiful Enterprise down in the corner. And I think it's the same on both sides. Yes, it's the same on both face sides of the box. And let's see if there's a number. So this is REMCO, and this is style number 601. Design APPN number is 972420. And again, this is a realistic phaser sound, phaser light beam, and project a target. And again, I think it's the same on both ends of the box. The only difference being the color variation. And when we look at the side, let's see. It says requires 1 9-volt battery and 2 AAA batteries, not included. Electronic phaser sound, pretty much the same thing that was on the end and on the front. You can see the Enterprise now firing at an unidentified ship. And I think, yes, it's the same on both sides of the box as well. Although on this side, the Enterprise has destroyed the unidentified ship. So let's go ahead. Without further ado, we're going to open it up. And look at that. It still has the packaging, although I'm thinking this is just for the shipping. I don't think it had this. Trying to think back to mine, when I opened up mine, it just had the cardboard flaps. It didn't have that. So I want to get all this stupid paper, packaging paper out of the box. All right, here's. Well, that was the first to come out, so let's take a look at the instructions first. And this is one of the things that, again, I was looking at one that seemed to be in good shape. The thing with these guys, if you see these, they're not usually complete. Either you can get the gun and you can get the little end cap that goes on, and usually the little discs are missing. Or you can get one that's got the little discs and that little end cap is missing. or you can get one and usually always the instructions are missing. What it caught my eye about this one was this one actually has a spare bulb. So that was pretty cool. That told me that it was going to have a lot of the original stuff with it. And the problem is when they stapled it to the instructions, it was folded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully take off the staple so we can open the instructions. So this tells me that the instructions have never really been looked at. Not the way they're supposed to, anyway. Look at that. We'll take this out and check it out in a minute. Alright, now I want to look at the instruction sheet. So the top part of the instructions, and I know this is in pretty bad shape. You can see where the light bulb is going to go in. You can see the batteries, the two AA's are going to go in the end of the gun, and the 9-volt that's going to go with the bottom. To replace the bulb, simply unscrew the plated front cap. Pull out the old bulb and insert the new bulb. Use Philips PR2 lamps, 2.4 volts or any similar type. Comes with extra replacement bulb. To operate electronic sound, place a 9-volt battery in the handle of the Star Trek Phaser. And again, you can see the illustration. So I wonder if there's anything on the back. There actually is nothing on the back. So when we look at the bottom of the instructions now, you can see how we're going to put the caps, or those little discs, into the cap that goes onto the flashlight part. And you can see the hidden compartment. To operate the discs, place desired disc in the cup and place over the light lens. Adjust the cup back and forward for the best focus. For best results, use disc in a dark room. 1975 Paramount Pictures Corporation, all rights reserved. REMCO Toys Incorporated, New York City, New York. Printed in Hong Kong. So to get a full picture of the instruction sheet, and you can tell these have been around a while. Look, they look like they're been munched on various little creatures. Maybe I can try. I'm going to use the Titanic as a background. And what I want to do is I want to get it flat. The top, the light bulb, putting the batteries in, and going to the bottom, you can see where the secret compartment is. So this is really cool. Let's put this back over here for now. All right, it goes, give a little photon. So now we're going to take a look at the light bulb. So again, we can just kind of take this little staple out. Look at that. Brand new. This came from 1975 from the REMCO factory. Love it. All right, let's put this aside for now. Okay, now we're going to take everything out of the box. Hopefully I would have gotten all of the packaging. And look, it still has the cardboard inserts to keep everything safe. So we're going to just pull everything out of the box. And again, I think this is more packing material. And I do believe that that's everything. Yes, it's everything in the box. So I want to put these where they're not going to be damaged. We'll put the box back here. All right, let me get rid of all this junk first. All right, so the gun would be in this box right here. And this would keep it safe during packaging. So let's put this over there for now. And this is just blowing my mind. Wow, this this brings back so many memories. And what I was telling you is there's that little cap that goes on this part of the gun, and when you put it on, the little discs go in there. All right, speaking of the discs, now we're going to open up the compartment, and let's see, I want to get them all out. Incidentally, that's the little compartment that they were talking about, secret compartment, and that snaps closed. So before we put batteries in, I want to show you guys the discs. First up, we've got the Klingon D7. Look at that. And then we got the little Martian spaceship. And it says made in Hong Kong, 1975 REMCO toys. You can see a little spaceship. Did it say the same thing on the Klingon ship? Yes. And lastly, we've got the Enterprise. And this is, let's see, made in Hong Kong, 1975 REMCO. Love it. I had a lot of fun with this. All right, let's take a look at the phaser. You can see on the side, we have the place where the speaker is. You could tell because of the little holes. And it says Star Trek on the side, and this one is actually in really good condition. On the other side, there's some writing on it. Let's see. It says 1975 Paramount Pictures Corporation, all rights reserved. REMCO Toys Incorporated, New York City, New York, made in Hong Kong, style number 601. And we have the trigger down here. Again, this is in really good condition. I don't want to get my hopes up because of course they say untested in a listing just to cover them if it doesn't work. But let me show you guys where the battery is going to go. On the bottom, we got the little ridges that we use, and we pull open the door. And let me get my tweezers. You can see the little 9-volt battery attachment. And then when we put the double A's in, again, this is going to slide. There's a little door that's going to come off, and you can see the compartment. So why don't we get the batteries, and we're gonna ultimately put it to the test. All right, let's start with the 9-volt battery. It's got the wrapping. I wanted to make sure that I got a brand new one. This is an Amazon one. I usually like to get the Duracell, but the price of Duracell batteries has gotten pretty expensive. And we'll do the same thing with the AA batteries. Take off the plastic wrap. All right, let's see now. Let's do the light first. So the positive side is going to be facing out on the inner part. And we'll opposite side, we'll switch it around. And now let's put the door on. Again, the anticipation, this is amazing. Let's make sure I can get it on. Oh man, look at that. The light works. I love it. All right, now let's put the 9-volt battery on. And this is going to go into the compartment on the bottom. Just like that, and let's see if the sound effects work. So the sound effects are a little messed up. Let me see if there's a problem with the positioning. Well, that's disappointing. That's a bummer. The good news is that it doesn't appear to not function because it was mishandled. Because this actually looks like it's in very good condition. So maybe there's some corrosion in there. There are screws. Maybe I'll take it apart to check. But right now it's not working. But the light is working. And I love it. And not only is it working, we got another light. We got a spare light. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the end cap on. Just like that. And let's start with the Enterprise. So we're going to put this part in now. And this is going to go in the bottom piece. There's a little peg and it's going to lock in place. See the Enterprise? So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lights out. We're going to have some fun. All right. Here we go. Look at that. I hope you guys can see that. I love it. And because of the reflective surface, it's not working. Let me try to get... Maybe if we use the cardboard. Yeah, that's a lot better. Look at that. So the Enterprise is going to fly by. Man, I remember playing with this a lot when I was a kid. All right, so that's the Enterprise. And what we can do is I'm going to turn the disc around and we'll make her facing in the opposite direction. And what you do is you just push the bottom and it'll come right out. Now let's do the reverse. So we turn it around and you can see she's facing in the other direction. I love it. All right, that was the Enterprise. Now, why don't we go ahead and we can try the other discs. Where's the Klingon one? I want to do that one next. So we'll do the Klingon D7. Look at that. Kapla. Red alert, shields up. Klingon D7 off the port bow. And we can do the same thing. We're going to turn the disc around and we're going to make her face the other direction. Just like that. You can see the D7 now flying by. Okay, and lastly, I don't know why they didn't go with the Romulan ship. Instead, we have like a little spaceship, a little alien spaceship. So let's put this in. See the little spaceship? I wonder if this was meant to be Cyrano Jones' little ship. Nice. And with this one, it won't really matter when we face it in the other direction. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. But that's the third disc. This is really fun. All right, let's put the lights back on. So basically, that is the REMCO electronic transistorized Star Trek Phaser gun. So, like I said, when you want to take the discs out, because they go through the bottom, you can just kind of push it and they come right out. And again, it's a bummer that the sound effects doesn't work. I'm going to look and I'm going to see if I can find any on the internet that works so you guys can hear what it sounds like. It kind of goes tee 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 tee. It kind of makes like a sound like that. But I'm wondering if over time things got corroded. Maybe the speaker got corroded, maybe the magnet. There are problems with the magnets. Who knows, maybe a bug or something got in. If they chewed up the instructions pretty good, they might have gotten in and damaged the wiring. But anyway, my friends, this is the REMCO Phaser from 1975, and I am delighted that it still works. See that? Oh. I'm wondering if the more I use it, maybe the sound will start working, but I doubt it, but you never know. If I can get the sounds to work, my friends, I will make an update video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. This is for the REMCO Star Trek Phaser gun from 1976. If you're my age, I hope this brought back some memories, and I'm delighted to see that the light works. And the sound looks like it wants to work. Like I said, if I get this working, I'll make an update video. So my friends, until my next Star Trek video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.